when you're making any program, you'll need to learn how to store information from combo boxes, list boxes, and from text boxes. So I'm going to do a little program here showing you how to transfer information or numbers from a text box or a combo box to a variable. Because if you're going to perform a calculation, it needs to be performed on the variables, and we need to get that information and store it into variables. So I'm using the program from last time, slightly different because I'm on the computer from home now. I got my drop down combo box here that gives me 5, 10, 15, 20. Or I've got a text box I can put any number in, and I want to store these in variables. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the code window, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a couple of variables right at the top of my program. The first one, dim my number. Sorry, that should be all one word. So capital my number as, oh, I'm going to do it as a single. So single stores decimal points. And dim my percentage as integer, as it's only going to, and again that should be 1, my apologies, my percentage as integer. Okay, don't just ever do dim number, because number is a reserved word in Visual Basic and percentage is a reserved word. So this my number I'm going to use to store any number put in this box here. And my percentage I'm going to use to store any number selected from that drop down combo box. So any number here is going to be stored in my percentage, and any number here is going to be stored in my number. So we do that, okay, we can do that at the click of a button basically. Let's put it on the click of a button. So I'll go and get myself a button here. Doesn't have to be too neat at this point. I'm going to leave it as button 1 because this is simply a test show program that shouldn't be too long. And on this button, when you click it, I'm going to say that my number equals the value of text box 1 dot text, and my percentage equals the value of, guess what, combo box 1 dot text. So when I click that button, and let me run the program to show you what I mean. When I click this button, whatever is in text box 1, which is this one, will be stored into this variable, and whatever the text is on combo box 1 will be stored in this variable. If I click it right now with nothing in there, it will probably crash. It's not, we're lucky, so there's some inbuilt error handling. If I put 10 in there, and I select 65 there and click there, it's been saved. How can we test that? Well, I'll just do a couple of message boxes to show you. In fact, what I'll do is I'll output the result to 2 other text boxes. So, and this is why you really need to name your text boxes, because I'm going to start to lose or forget with text box 3 and text box 4. We really need to give them proper names. So that one can be called over here txt percentage, and this one can be called txt number. And these 2 text boxes are going to display whatever's put in here when I click that button, just to prove that we've got it right. So button 1, I'm going to say txt number equals my number, txt percentage equals my percentage. Txt number dot text, apologies, and txt percentage dot text. So this is just to prove a point. So if we run the program and we select all 35 there and I put in 55 there, I hit button 1, it shows them here. What I've done is I've taken it from here and from here. So I've taken the textbox1.text and stored in my number. The combobox.text, converted it to a number and stored it in my percentage. And then I said this text box equals my number and this text box equals my percentage. Simple. The point of this is that now we can perform calculations on these variables. So what if we wanted to figure out, say this with a percentage drop down, the percentage of whatever this total is here. How would we do that? Well, just to show you, I'm going to have another text box here, which is going to show you what the percentage of this via the total there is. Does that make sense? So what's going to happen is if I select, let's say 10 and 100, that's going to be 10% of 100. This will show what that is. And we know, hopefully, that will be 10% of 100 is £10, right? Now, if we want to do a bit of easy formatting, we could take, in fact, what we could do is this, look, just to show you a bit of easy formatting, I could say that text number equals my number. In fact, I could say equals, put a string literal in, and I could call this no, my percentage. So if I want to show it as a percentage, equals, I could put a percentage symbol in, quite simply. Use a bit of concatenation, if you remember that, and my percentage. So I'm putting that symbol in first. Let's just test that. So if I put in my percentage, 15, and put in 10 there. There you are. It shows 15. Actually, it should be the other way around, shouldn't it? So I'll cut that. My percentage and our 15%. There we are. $45, 10, there. Don't have to have a drop down box. This here could just be another text box and you could put in whatever number you wanted. Doesn't have to be a drop down box. That was just an idea. You could do whatever you wanted to. The next bit is the interesting calculation. So let's add a third text box, which we've got, and this one will be called txt result. And what I want is the result of the percentage of the number. So I'm going to have one here, dim my result as single, because I might want some decimal places. Okay, so we've added a third variable, my result, as a single to handle decimal points. Down here we've now added another line, my result equals my number, that one there, divided by 100 times my percentage, this one here. That will figure out whatever the percentage amount of whatever that number it is that you put in the number box. And then I say txtresult.text equals my result, because you're doing this calculation here. I'll put it above there. Total equals number divided by 100 times percentage. My result is my total equals my number divided by 100 times my percentage. And if we check that in operation, if I select 55% of £100, 55% of 100 equals £55. And because I've used a single so that it can take decimal points, if I made this, I don't know, let's say it was a bill of £105, it will figure out it's 57.75. And that's it. That is how you figure out percentages if you have a percentage and a number and you need to find out what that percentage of that number is. You need to use these variables or variables of your own name, and you'll need 3 of them. So remember, you don't have to have this. We could simply have a text box that you put the amount into, the percentage that you want to calculate. Then my number equals the value of the first text box. My percentage equals the value of the combo box. Let's run the program so we can just talk it through. My value stores the value that you put in here. My percentage stores whatever it is you put in here. And you hit button 1. And on the click event of button 1, txt number equals my number. Txt percentage equals my percentage with a bit of formatting, and the result box, okay, because 40% of £10 is £4. My result equals my number divided by 100 times my percentage, and that gives you an overall percentage result. Now that will always show you how to do some percentage. You've got division, multiplication in there, no problem at all. You don't have to have this loop for the combo box, like I said. You could do it quite simply with another text box and the person enters it in. It will do the job absolutely fine for you. And that essentially is how you do it and how you work out your percentages.